Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live and Learn, TENCEL Modal with Indigo Color Technology, discovering indigo from the inside out. My name is Tricia Carey, and I'm Director of Global Business Development at LENZ, where we transform trees into TENCEL lyocell and modal fibers, which are used by leading mills and brands from around the world. To learn more about TENCEL, you can visit us at tencel.com or our Denim blog, which is carvedinblue.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter. And to see more videos and our Denim videos from our mill and brand partners and conversations like these, you can check out our YouTube channel, Blue Lens. For decades, if not centuries, humans have constantly mused about extraterrestrials landing on planet Earth and about what they might make of human activity. Well, even the most dumbest alien might struggle with a logical explanation behind how the denim jeans industry operates. Essentially, the first half of the process is to manufacture a fabric and a garment to the highest quality standards using the most modern technologies available. And the second half of the process is to selectively damage or destroy that same product, knowing that someone is still prepared to pay money for such a product, and in some cases will pay more money for the highest level of destruction. Clearly, the logic is also lost on some of us mere mortals. Back in 2011, a BBC report on the denim industry interviewed Ursula de Castro, founder and creative director of the ethical fashion label From Somewhere, and also the director of Fashion Revolution. She was quoted as saying, "I believe that distressed denim will be seen as one of the great madnesses of this generation, a sign of fast fashion at its most ridiculous." For the industry itself, it has been difficult to initiate change in something that is so iconic a product as indigo denim, even when it is recognized that change needs to happen. And for the decades, little did change. However, within the last decade, we have witnessed rapid evolution, such that today the broadest definition of denim can mean something that is neither cotton, nor woven, nor a jean. Yet there is more to be done, and the thing that most defines denim, indigo dye, and the indigo dyeing remains barely untouched. But even here, the winds of change can be felt. The ongoing sustainability debates around indigo involve dye manufacture, dye chemistry, and dye application. And it is dye application which is the focus of this new lensing development. Recent indigo application activity has centered around techniques such as foam dyeing, spray dyeing, and electrochemical dyeing. However, all of these still rely on applying indigo on a traditional dye range. Today, we are here to discuss the options and opportunities with a new fiber development from lensing. This is TENCEL Modal with Indigo Color Technology, an innovative indigo application where indigo pigment is added into the spinning mass to produce a fiber with indigo. And this provides a resource savings, real wash effects, and rub fastness. Two companies and two people who bookend this development are more than qualified to give us their insight on how this new product will influence the apparel industry. So joining me today are Adriano Goldschmied, who is known as the godfather of denim, and also the founder of House of Gold, and Guenther Widler from Dystar. So I want to welcome everyone today for this conversation. And Adriano, we'll kick it off with you. If you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay. Let's say I have a long career, and so I'm gonna try to condense very quickly what I did in the last 50 years of activity in the denim industry and in the fashion business. Let's say I started my career mostly fashion. It means in designing. My background at the time, and still is, design, and I was very focused in bringing innovation in terms of fits and look and washes and let's say trying to change a denim into something that at the beginning of my career was just an utilitarian item into probably today the most successful fashion tool in the fashion world. And to be honest, at that time, we not been caring at all about sustainability. We even didn't know the sense of the word sustainability. And the second part of my career was dedicated basically in trying to fix all the mistakes that we did in terms of washing, creating the fabric, the product. Because honestly, we all know that the denim industry and the textile in general is one of the most polluting industries in the world. And I have to say that at the very beginning, at the middle of the 90s, we was a voice in the desert. And but then year after year, the sustainability, circularity, and what is connected to lower impact became a big storm. Today, it is a storm. If you are out of this, you are out of the business. And this one is the reality. So I was one of the first fan of TENCEL. And we've been working together since many, many years. And so I'm very, very, very excited about the new project that is Indigo Technology, because it is something that is really gonna change our Indigo business.
For sure. Yeah, thank you, Adriano. And it has been a pleasure working with you for many years, decades, and your commitment around using TENCEL and the authenticity that you design with. And I just want to share with everyone, you know, a couple of years ago, you came to LENZing to Austria to visit. And I do a little briefing for the Austria team when you come. And I highlighted that you're the godfather of denim, and somehow that didn't really translate well. And instead they called you the Pope of denim. So at LENZing, you're actually considered the Pope of denim, and it was only appropriate that we continue to work together on this development. So
you're giving to me a big responsibility at this point.
I know. Yeah, I think you can handle it. That's no problem. Guenther, for you, can you tell us what you do at Dystar and some background on what Dystar is involved in the market?
Thank you, Tricia. Well, my name's clear. I'm start my career, my textile way doing in various textile mills in Europe. So I was on the dyer side, and since the last 25 years, I'm changing then to the chemistry side to produce the dyestuffs and the auxiliaries, what the textile industry needs for all these shades and colors and all the need what we see in the market. The last 15 years, roughly, I'm joining the group for Denim, and I'm presently the head of technology for Denim and sodium amide. And so all these developments, Indigo developments, Denim developments, we call it, is on my side. And so therefore, we are in contact, and we both together, LENZing and Dystar, producing or developing this Indigo, which is giving us now this story what we are talking about.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Guenther. It's great to have you here today. So, Adriano, you touched on it a little bit, some of the challenges of the denim industry. And it's not just the denim industry, but I think it's the textile industry and the apparel industry overall, especially around water, chemical, energy use. And you mentioned that, you know, you were kind of fixing some of the things now that were implemented, in the 90s when you're working in denim. But what do you see as some of our greatest challenges? Is it around circularity? Is it around climate? Is it water? Where do you kind of put all of this into connection?
Tricia, the list is really long. It's really long because it's not about one thing. Let's say the denim industry and the textile, they go through a long process with many, many different steps. And we start, I would say, from the agriculture, that in my opinion is coming one of the key points today and in the next future. But we go through many, many different steps that are all very important. And so what I'm saying, our future, we have a lot of challenges. I just mentioned, obviously, we don't have the time to go through all the points and all the problems so that we have to fix it and improve. Let's say it was mentioned agriculture, because in my opinion, agriculture is important for the climate, is important for the social life, is important to make for the people a better life. And we know that today, the way that we make textile is extremely heavy for the environment, because we need land, we need water, we need chemicals, and that one definitely has to change. That is one of the biggest reasons why I'm such a fan of TENCEL, because we make the change. We make the change because we have control, we have traceability of the product, and we for sure have to change, let's say, the content of the denim into something that is more sustainable. For sure, a big problem is the water. Consumption of water is critical. Water is our life today and in the future. And we have to treat the water in a different way. We have to design processes that they are without water or with much less water. And that's again why the Indigo technology for Modal is incredible, because let's say the number that we have is 99% less water. Means that is a revolution, and this one is another key subject. Water is not only about creating the fiber or creating the color, but is also in the washing process, and so many is about recycling. And the other thing we have in front of us is energy. Energy is another big polluter. And so we have to be able to change it and to go with the creation of energy that is clean, and also recycle the energy when it is possible. And emission is also a key point, because has such a big influence in changing the climate. Every day when we open the paper or we read the news, we read about the influence of the climate change. And so it's not something that we can think about later. We have to think about today, because today we make our future. Another subject that is very important, in my opinion, is transparency and the digitalization. We have the experience in the last year, because COVID, the importance of the digitalization. And also when COVID hopefully is going to be over, I don't think it's going to change because it's much more efficient, it's more effective, we do a better job, and to be honest, we have a better communication. Think about all what we do, we never had before. How many webinars you making, Tricia? You know, or
how about you, Adriano? Yeah, I know it is the
yeah, but it's
digitalization
important.
has helped.
It is important. It is
Right.
important because honestly, we create a movement, you know, and we involve all the people from the students to the leaders of the industry. And so
Yeah.
that is how we give him power to our ideas and to our fights, you know. So bottom line, at the end, we have to take the occasion of rethink completely, you know, our business, including also what the main goals are. Because let's say one thing, the main goal in the past and still today, bottom line is to make money. You know, the industry has to make money, but I think that we have to change the parameters of how we make money, because we have to make money creating a benefit for the people, for the world, and thinking about the wellness and thinking about to do something better. You know, it is an occasion that we have, and it's going to be good for everybody, including the people that they are hungry of money, because we are able to show today that fighting for sustainability is a money maker, and that
Yes.
is going to be the big change.
No, well said. I mean, this is that time for change. If not now, when? And companies needing to look at things differently. So, I mean, Guenther, how is this reflected at Dystar? How do you see chemistry and what you're doing as an impact to support sustainability within the industry?
Absolutely, and there is not much to add to the statements from Adriano, because he pointed out very well. From the chemistry side, we have to consider something more, I would say. Just for an example, during all this chemical reaction, during dyeing, or also during the production of an indigo or other chemistry, a lot of side reactions are going on, and especially in the denim dyeing mills, a lot of salt is created. And I'm talking about thousands of tons every year, what we are producing with this denim industry on salt, which salt cannot be burned, salt cannot be destroyed. And finally, after a good wastewater treatment plant, it ends up as landfill. And so therefore we have to work on as well as waste. And not only the chemistry waste, when I'm looking to this denim industry, also a lot of cotton waste is generated in this huge denim dyeing ranges, what they are using or what is used presently. A lot of beginning of dyeing or end of dyings are produced, and a lot of them is waste. For sure, you can recycle them and you can reuse that and so on, but then we are coming to the point of money. This is costing money, and this is destroying the margin of the dyers. So therefore, we have to work on all these parameters from Adriano, as well as on the chemical side, with waste itself, no? And the side reactions.
Yes.
It's the only point which I can set on top of Adriano's, because Adriano's statements are correct. This is right. Yeah. Water, energy, human health is another story what we have to consider, because when we are talking about indigo and this dusty indigo, which is powdered, and the people are breathing that, this is not healthy, no?
Right. No, exactly. And if anyone has any questions, please put them into the chat and we will answer them through our discussion, and we'll open for questions at the end. So we launched this week our TENCEL Modal with Indigo Color Technology, and how we make it is we're starting with trees. We make the pulp at our headquarters in Austria. To the pulp, then we add a solvent. Into the solvent is where we, into the spinning mass is where we add the indigo pigment. And then when the fiber is extruded, then the fiber actually has the indigo pigment inside. And so this is a different way of looking at indigo application from the inside out, rather than from the yarn application of indigo, which is typically done. And when you do have indigo in the yarn application, you do have issues around crocking, which can stain machinery and can also stain, any other contact, the rubbing that you have of indigo coming off. That can be a challenge to work with. And yet for many years, we've kind of just determined that we could work around it. And so with this innovation of adding the indigo pigment into the spinning mass of the fiber and combining those processes, how do you think that this will change then indigo application? Guenther, where do you see this going? Dystar has been involved with us with providing pigments for other colors that we produce, but the indigo especially, this is quite different. How do you think it will change the way we look at indigo?
Well, at first we have to see indigo is itself, let me say, a little bit special, especially when we are looking to all these laundries, what the creativity side can do with indigo. A lot of other pigments you cannot do with. You cannot bleach it, you cannot scribe it, you cannot do anything. Bleach it with getting a white or something like this. And therefore, indigo is needed for especially all these effects, what will be generated. For sure, in this case, we need to destroy partly also the indigo. And looking to your T-shirt, Tricia, then we see what I'm talking about. No? So therefore, we need this indigo. And on the other hand, when we are having an indigo in the fiber, then we can play another rule, because as you mentioned, the crocking or fastness are bad because indigo is a pigment, and in the conventional dyeing technology, the indigo is on the outside of the fiber, and therefore you can scribe it. This is one positive as well as negative effect. And now we have a fiber in hand where this crocking fastness problem is solved totally. So you are on the higher level than other pigments, or let me say for cotton inandrin dyes, wet dyes. No? So you get the same level or highest level, possible level for that. And also other negative or effects from indigo, and Adriano knows what I'm talking about when I'm saying yellowing is a big challenge for this textile industry, for this denim industry. We will not have this yellowing effect on this TENCEL fiber because this indigo is so deep into the fiber. Ozone gases or nitrogen gases cannot touch that. So therefore, I'm really fine and I'm excited to have a fiber like this on hand, where the negative, some parts of this negative image or negative effects, properties of indigo are solved by the fiber and by this production.
Exactly. So yes, and my T-shirt is designed by Adriano and his daughter Glenda, made of our TENCEL Modal with indigo technology. And so it's nice to have this product to wear it, and you can remove the indigo, which is a unique way of looking at it. And Adriano, you actually designed a collection of fabrics as well as a collection of garments. So you have quite a bit of experience in working now, probably the most experience of anyone of working with TENCEL Modal with Indigo Color Technology. How do you see that this will change the way we look at indigo?
Okay, as Guenther said, it's a big change. It's a big change because to make it very simple, the denim today is about putting the indigo on top of the yarn. And let's say that's a reason why scraping and we can create the vintage look into a denim fabric. Obviously, there are a lot of handicaps because, for instance, crocking is a major handicap of indigo, and that's the reason why we've been doing only 5-pocket jeans at the end. You know, creating the indigo technology modal, we go totally out of the box. means that the indigo is part of the fiber. And obviously, you can go to different categories of product because, for instance, on one side, when you create a fabric, you can think about a luxury denim, means a denim that is, let's say, an indigo full color that is probably ready for a luxury industry or a luxury segment, very different from what we know today. And on the other side, we open, as I said, new categories because, for instance, the indigo net was not an important category in the past until today. And it's going to be because the quality, first of all, of the fiber, that is amazing. Honestly, you cannot compare in terms of hand feel to any other fiber. Honestly, I would say also TENCEL. I know TENCEL very well, and I see the modal with the indigo has characteristics that they are a little bit different and more softer and more comfortable than TENCEL. That is challenged because we already know what we can do with the TENCEL. And the fact that there is no crocking is opening up a segment that I saw in the last few days was taking a lot of attention because we've been working not only in the knit, the circular knits, but we've been working in collaboration with Shima in making sweaters. And you see the incredible 3D results that we have in the sweaters. Nobody did an indigo sweater before, but for a very simple reason, because of crocking. Today we can. Bottom line, I would say that it's true that I've been working very hard and creating this collection, Seed of Joy, to experiment the possibilities of the indigo technology. I have the feeling that we've been exploring only a small part of what can be done with this fiber. You know, I have some dreams that are, for instance, to bring the indigo into the sport, the active sport, to make a down jacket that is fitting down like a jean, you know, to making shoes, you know, and to bring the indigo idea, the fading of the indigo into a much wider business. There is a thing that is happening today. We all know that what is comfortable and what is about loungewear and the comfort of the circular fabrics is for sure coming as a part of our casual look and fashion. So I think that bottom line, the possibility of this technology are gigantic, and we have to start. We have to start because every day we can bring a piece of wood to the fire, and I'm sure that at the end we're gonna have a big fire.
Yeah, well, we want to bring wood to make pulp, so it's going to be a little different. Sorry, I had to say that. But Adriano, because I held this up, and this sweater is actually a part of the collection of Seed of Joy.
Yeah.
It's a part of our campaign. You might have seen this image for any of the attendees. Can you explain a little bit about how you washed it? What did you do? What did you find best in the laundry capability for this?
Yeah, okay. Let's say one thing. Guenther was mentioning one of the handicaps, a possible handicaps, because we are not really sure about that, is the fact that washing is not easy. The traditional wash that is the enzyme, obviously we are not talking anymore about stones, but the traditional wash is not very effective. let's say the modern technology is totally something totally different because, for instance, it's very effective with the laser. And for instance, I'm very curious to see what is happening when we are using, we call accelerators or booster of lasers. And also, and that is the most important thing, the ozone machine. Ozone machine is something that is amazing because basically is no water. We can wash with no water. And especially the sweater that you've been showing was done with the ozone. And ozone looks like to be much more effective than let's say a traditional wash. So the other thing is we have to experiment how this fiber is working with when we blend it with other fibers. For instance, we did some experiments on blending with recycled fibers, and we had a very good result. We have in the near future, we're going to have the time to design, to make products, and to understand the big possibilities that we have. We are just at the very beginning.
Exactly. I think there's endless possibilities. It's layering technology. It's mixing other fiber blends. Is it adding mechanically recycled cotton? Is it other yarn spinning technology? The way I see this is, we're open for innovation, what can be done. And I think there's so many great minds and new ideas out in the market. This is a chance to experiment with something new. When we highlight some of the benefits of using TENCEL Modal with Indigo Color Technology, the resource savings, where we have 99% water savings over traditionally dyed indigo yarns with rope dye ranges. And this is using either powder or pre-reduced liquid indigo. We have chemical savings of 80%. And energy savings of 99%. This is huge to reach many of the goals that brands have around saving resources. And I think, Adriano, you touched on the knit market, but is there other applications that we could use this fiber for? Certainly, whether it's footwear or home applications. I think these are all different ways, and I know you're filled with ideas, Adriano. It's always what could be happening next, and I think that will be very interesting to see with this, for sure.
Yeah, let's say there is one dream that is not happening. We all know that is not happening, is to apply the indigo to fabrics that they are functional to outerwear and for the sport. The sport is coming, the active fashion is coming, something very, very important that is coming part of our everyday life. And so I'm an indigo ambassador, and we have to be there.
Yes, you are the indigo ambassador for sure. And Guenther, over the years, as you've looked at how chemistry is so important for indigo, about 18 months ago, there was some controversy over aniline and the levels of aniline in indigo. And for lensing, when we were developing this together, we wanted to make sure that we have a certified safe product. Very important for us to have the OEKO-TEX standard here, and we were able to achieve that. Can you tell us more about aniline? What is it? What are the concerns? You're the expert in this side.
Thank you. Well, aniline is a big story, and everyone is talking about aniline. On one hand, it is right, it is correct that we need to talk about. On the other hand, it is not such dangerous than other megamines what are in other dysters included. So therefore, nevertheless, aniline is suspected to get cancer or to can come to cancer. There is no official note until now that this is shown that this is really the case, but nevertheless, it is suspected to be, and therefore we need to work on. On the other hand, perhaps somebody of you knows there is a big company in Germany, call it BASF, and this company is producing aniline a lot. For not only for indigo, they are producing aniline for a lot of thousands of other products, including, I would not say where this going in. On the other hand, this aniline, as long as indigo is produced in the synthetic way, what we are doing presently, we need this aniline because this is the efficientest way to produce indigo. And the aniline is one of the pre-products or a raw material, main component as a raw material. And the question is, during the synthesis of indigo, how to treat that and how to overcome that problem that you have finally in the finished good, in the final product, as less as possible aniline in this product which is used. And our indigo, pre-reduced indigo, what we have on the market since 25 years now, is on the lowest possible level. And with this indigo, the conventional denim dyer can produce a denim which is not having aniline inside. You will not find, perhaps you will find 5 ppm, could be, but this is a level where the analytical results can also be wrong. And especially this product, what we are exclusively producing for you in Lenzing, for your plant in Austria, is again reduced in the aniline level to the lowest possible level, so that your TENCEL fiber, what you are producing, and you're using a lot of this indigo into this fiber, is also having no or lowest possible levels on aniline, which you can, and you have tested this, you can fulfill then the category 1 Annex 6 on the Ecotex level. So
Exactly.
Can I add one thing that I think is important? From our test, when we do the washes and we using the ozone machine, the level of aniline is, I'm not saying disappearing, but goes to a very, very low level. So let's say in general, I would say to wash with the ozone is giving a lot of advantages.
This is on top to consider. All my measurements on the fibers are done without washings, and there we are fine. And when you are washing these fibers or fabrics or whatever it is, then the level is going down again. Yeah. And so we are quite sure that these textiles, denim textile, indigo textiles, what we are bringing on the market is fine for the market. And I would say also including babies. And especially the baby story is now on TENCEL a different story, because when we are looking into the crocking fastness, indigo will never get level of for babies. But with this, now we can talk about baby articles.
Yeah, so even another market opportunity, and
Exactly.
that's across apparel or even home products for babies. Yeah. So. Great.
I think there was a question of bed sheets. I'm quite sure this will work. Why not?
Yes, exactly. I think, again, endless opportunities. And Adriano, you produced a capsule, which is incredible. It's called Seed of Joy. And I like to say that you have a collaboration network. And so you brought your collaborators, your partners together. And these are Blue Diamond in the Loop. They're out of China, as well as Shimaseki, the machinery company, also Crayfill and Tonello. Can you tell us more about Seed of Joy, these collaborating partners, and how you saw everyone?
Let's say, first of all, in general, I hate to work alone. means I love to create a team of people, involve creative people, technical people, all the steps of the chain that is needed to make a product. In this particular project that is Seed of Joy, a name that it is an optimistic name, because we are thinking that we're planting a seed that is going to bring benefit to the planet. Means that to be very, very focused on circularity, in sustainability, and all the other subjects that they are connected to the design and the production is going to bring joy to the people. And it is going to be for sure very nice. In particular, the network is very important, because basically we were thinking to make a product that is 100% recyclable. So basically every single component that we have in our collection is recyclable. For instance, we are not using metallic trims. We are using buttons that they are in Corozzo, that they are recyclable. With Craftwell, we are using their 100% thread that basically is not anymore the very common polycotton thread that is not recyclable, or let's say it is a recyclable but still stay as polyester in the fiber. And another collaboration that it was very important for us, because I think we've been explaining how important is the wash, was Tonello. We've been working with the laboratory of Tonello to test the washes, to make the washes, and so honestly, it was great. Another collaboration that, especially for me, because I'm a denim guy, I'm not a sweater guy, was Shima Seiki, because they have a complete technology, very, very advanced in making sweaters, and with no waste, because basically everything is fully fashioned. And we've been able to create a product that is totally new. The other thing that I have to say, one thing about Indigo, the Indigo technology, in some way is giving a design booster to the designers, because we are not talking about just making another 5-pocket jeans. But of course we can, but adding categories, and adding possibility, we are pushing designer to work more into the design, because honestly, the business needs not only technology, but when you go to a store or you are in front of your computer and you like to buy something, you have to like it. And the component of the fashion design is a very important point, And I think that this technology is pushing the designer to create new products. And this one means to create an emotion in the buyers in order to explore new direction and new categories.
Definitely, you're right. It's providing a new avenue to explore, and I think you did an incredible job of bringing all those partners together. I know you don't like to work alone, and you do such a great job of connecting everyone. And I think throughout the development, we also saw some of those benefits, like in working with Shimaseki when they were knitting the sweater yarns, and they didn't have the crocking issue from the yarns with TENCEL Modal with Indigo Color Technology, and their comment around the machine kept clean. I think these are all benefits that we can take further in other developments. Definitely experimenting with laundry is important. I know there's a question here around what special considerations for laundry. So at commercial laundry, you can reduce the color. As we've mentioned, laser and ozone we found to be the best. As Adriano did, it's how do we look at the total garment and lowering the footprint of that garment. You can use traditional laundry methods. There were some other developments that were done, not with Adriano's collection, that used PP spray. And just know then when the consumer wears or washes any garments with this, there's no additional indigo color loss. So it can bring a value proposition then around having a stay color gene, which could be very interesting too. So these are all different ways of working with the product. I mean, we talk now in the textile apparel and especially in the denim industry about innovation, technology, and lowering environmental footprint. And all of these have to come together without compromising design. Guenther, how does Dystar look at innovation for the denim industry today? What other ideas are you working on? We talked about the aniline. You talked about, resource reduction and worker safety. Are there other areas?
Well, we are working with the denim mills very close, and we are developing a lot of processes, a lot of helps for the customers, for our customers, to make them more efficient, to make them more eco-friendly by using it for first our products for sure, and secondly our technique. And we are in or our latest development, let me say in that way, is that we are able to filter out all these indigos which are in the denim dyeing ranges available, which is usually going to the wastewater stream. And we can filter out that. We can reuse the water completely in the denim ranges. And also we can reuse these indigos. So this is in the development stage now. Presently, we were in Pakistan with that, as well as we are now doing this in Germany on washing mills. So therefore, this could be another option to make a little bit more efficiency to the conventional denim mills, but nevertheless, you are far away from all these problems with your fiber, because there is no additional water, there is no additional wash necessary, because after your fiber is produced, the color fastness properties are fine. No indigo is left, or is loose, is lost.
Yes, no, exactly.
No waste.
Yeah.
No waste.
No waste. Right. Exactly, yeah.
Great. Well, I want to open up before we close. If there's any other questions, if you could put them into the chat, that would be great. And Adriano, again, you've done such a wonderful job, and how many brands that you've developed. It's really incredible. And I think you really exemplify how you can mix innovation technology, lowering the environmental footprint, design, and most of all, collaboration, which I think not a lot of people can say that they can do all of that into one product. So want to thank you again for all the work that you and your team put into developing Seed of Joy and working together with us on this fiber.
It was a great pleasure, and we had a lot of fun, and we're gonna continue to have that fun. For
Exactly.
Sure. Thank you, Tricia.
Exactly.
And thank you, Guenther, that gave us the key to arrive to the point.
We are just making a little bit blue, nothing else.
That's the important part. That's what we really like. So just in closing then, our TENCEL Modal with Indigo Color Technology, you have resource savings, you also have real wash effects, and you have rub fastness. So great innovation, looking at indigo from the inside out rather than the outside in. If you'd like more information, you can email us newyork@lenzing.com. We're happy to help no matter what area of the textile or apparel or home market you're in. We would love to see what we can collaborate and coming up with new ideas around this. If you'd like more information about the fiber, you can go to tencel.com, or you can go to our denim blog, Carved in Blue. We have a lot of information. It's hard in our digital world, but we have a lot of photos that we can share and information that we can provide. So we will send you this recording, and we have more videos posted on our YouTube channel, Blue Lens. And I thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you also to our producers at ENDRIME, Mohsin and Sadia, who've done a lot of behind the scenes work in our digital communications. Thank you, Adriano and Guenther.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.